We start with breaking news this morning. One person is dead and 2 others are injured after a shooting in Tallahassee. This is a live look out at the scene right now as police continue to work to clean up that scene. Tallahassee Police Department says the shooting happened around 1 o'clock this morning at Renew Tallahassee. And we're learning more about breaking news that's coming into our newsroom. Firefighter crews are actively working to contain a large factory fire in Thomasville. This is a live view from that scene right now. You can actually see the blaze. The Thomasville Fire Department captain says the business on fire is called Georgia Crate and Basket Company. We start with breaking news in Leon County. The westbound lanes on I-10 near mile marker 213 are closed due to a crash with a Budweiser truck. Florida Highway Patrol deputies say the tractor-trailer truck and an unknown vehicle collided into each other, causing the entire load from the tractor-trailer to fall onto the westbound lanes of I-10, completely blocking the roadway. Rain and wind have been lashing North Florida all night long. The strongest part of the storm is moving closer to our area. Just kind of go ahead and give us an update about the situation out there in Wakulla County. Have you guys had to respond to any calls, or how are things looking for you so far? We're just mere hours away, right, from whatever the tropical system Helene could bring to our area. We're at this stage right now. What should preparations look like? Take a look right now. This is the city of Thomasville. As you can see, all of this red here. Right now, there's about 10,000 people in the city of Thomasville without power. If we go ahead and take a look at Georgia Power, we can see that there's a lot of different outages in the area, but it looks like the biggest area is going to be right here in Valdosta or in Lowndes County. They've got 13,000 people without power at this hour. But for the young couple, they're hoping they can find their white calico cat named Amy. They say they can make more money, replace lost items, but they need and want their cat back. Now for Andrew, he says he's not sure what to do next as he's on the hunt for a new place, but says everywhere is charging Taj Mahal prices for a 1-bedroom apartment that he simply can't afford. For the owner of Shea Kitty Watson, she says while she's hurt that her business was destroyed during Hurricane Helene, she's happy her friends and her family are okay. Now Watson actually lost her home during Hurricane Idalia and thought about riding out the storm in this antique store behind me with her husband. Now she's glad she didn't. Today's the big day, yeah. November 5th. It is election day. We've been waiting for it all year long. But you mentioned it being very active, right? And that was going to kind of lead me into my next question, which is how has this year maybe differed from the last presidential election? You've worked many of them. So let's just kind of go ahead and dive into question 1, right? Which Tallahassee voters voted in favor of. That's proposing a pay raise for city commissioners. Now, our city commissioners currently make about $50,000. So that question on the ballot asked whether the pay should be increased to match what Leon County commissioners make. The measure was approved, meaning Tallahassee voters now have a path to earning just under $100,000. Welcome to It's Our Honor, our tribute to Honor Flight Tallahassee 2024. This is the 10th Honor Flight Tallahassee, and like the others, this one a diverse group, different wars, different veterans, different lives lived. There were 76 veterans this year. It's not every day that you meet an 104-year-old. This World War II vet says the trip to D.C. was incredible, bringing up many different emotions from his past, and though the day was a wet one, he did enjoy himself. This grandfather-granddaughter duo have created a bond that is hard to put into words. I mean, just take a look at them right here. How cute are the two? It's getting darker and darker by the moment. I've taken out my glasses. Hopefully you can see on your screen as well just some of the views that we're looking at from up above. We're hoping to be those eyes for you as we are in the 100% totality. It's getting ready to be complete darkness up above. I've got my glasses with me. We've had a lot of fun being out here in the moment. Traveling, right, by plane, by train, by car, you name a little bit of everything. We have done it, but we can officially say we are on the grounds here in Dublin, Ireland, and we could be more excited. Like on the tour today, when we spoke to our tour guide, he was saying the equivalent of college football for the people in Ireland would be rugby, right? So that's how they compare things, which is really interesting and really good to kind of put things into perspective about how
they're fanatical about that. We're fanatical about American football.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so I know they talked about wanting to try McDonald's because McDonald's in another country is always got some kind of special treat we may not be used to back at home, right? So we haven't got to try McDonald's yet, but you got something tasty.
I have a little something. It's called a croffle. It's a croissant waffle. So they take whatever croissant mix is, but follow me because I got to show the camera here.
Okay.
Okay. So, I know they talked about wanting to try McDonald's because McDonald's in another country is always got some kind of special treat we may not be used to back at home, right? So we haven't got to try McDonald's yet, but you got something tasty. You guys, look at this.
If you come see WCTV out there, we are doing a kind of like treasure hunt in our treat shop, or WCTV treat shop is what we're being called.
That is cute.
So where you get the opportunity to win a WCTV goodie bag. Don't forget about our WCTV match for the Second Harvest donations. We are matching up to $1,500 for the next hour. That ends at 6. We want to make that goal. We need you at home to help us make that happen. Of course, they've been showing that QR code throughout the shows. I know y'all saw it. So go ahead, scan that. You can go
cash,
yes. Or you can bring cash right here. Come say hi to us.
Yeah, come say hi.
We can take a bike ride together. We're out here till 6:30. We're at the Walmart on Thomasville Road. So it is quite the hike, but you have time still to make it if you leave right now if you're at home watching. All right, Rob, are you ready to get down to business? You really kind of got to push your back into it, huh? Okay, but we're making some progress here. Oh, there we go. Okay, you got your slices. Dip it or dip it like that?
Both sides, yep.
Oh, okay, perfect.
They're nice and hearty, so they won't fall apart on you. And then just set them down.
Oh my gosh, I know my pup would love this. It means it is time for our Morning Pep Rally, which is so exciting. It's time for football season. I think it's one of our favorite times of the year. Each week, Josh and I will be traveling to about 12 different schools across the Big Bend in South Georgia, highlighting some of the biggest matchups in high school football.
Pep Rally.
Yes, it's Friday, so you know that means Morning Pep Rally.
For now, we want to go ahead and let the musician himself play us out for sure. We're going to go ahead and take you and just go ahead and show you exactly what is going on behind us. Over here, we've got pigs and we've got goats. And then if we just go ahead and keep walking this way, you can see actually we have a red carpet going on. We've got FSU's dance team out here. We've got FAMU cheerleaders. And of course, meteorologist Josh Green is inside reading the names on the red carpet so that I can be out here with you guys, showing you just a little bit about what's in store. Everyone that comes, they are getting crowned kings and queens for the night. This is a prom for special needs.
Raja's about 13 years old. We have gained a lot of trust with Raja, so much that we allow her to eat out of people's lips just like that. Good girl.
All right, welcome back. As promised, we are back featuring a furry friend up for adoption. We've got Kate McFall with us from Tallahassee Animal Services. Kate, tell us about this beautiful girl we got with us. It's now time for Furry Friday, our chance to shine a spotlight on the dogs ready and waiting to be adopted at the Tallahassee Animal Service Center. Someone adopted her before we could even put her on TV. So Muffin, we hope you are snuggling and snoring your little heart out on someone's couch right now. But Muffin told us that she still has dozens of friends waiting to be adopted. You can visit them this weekend at the shelter. The Quincy-based Rest Your Paws Rescue was founded back in 2018. According to business records, it operates out of the same building as Little Friends Pet Lodge. Angela Geary is listed as the vice president. She's now accused of keeping dozens of dogs in filthy conditions without proper food and water. Former volunteers are claiming this was going on for months before Geary's arrest.
We believe that these dogs and cats would have had a better chance living outside.
Former volunteer Samantha Joel says she worked with Angela Geary for the majority of 2023. She says she enlisted her sorority to make Geary's rescue their service project, and they were looking forward to making a difference.
We, at first, really wanted to believe it was just because they were overwhelmed. It was just because there were too many dogs, too many cats, not enough space.
Joel says the more time she and her sorority spent volunteering, the more red flags started to appear.
Food bowls empty, water bowls were bone dry, and we saw the crates and kennels being cleaned out periodically, but no matter what, every single time we went into that building, the dogs were covered in their own feces and urine.
Similar conditions are described by investigators in a police report WCTV first obtained shortly after Geary's arrest in June. Documents detail the moment Quincy police were called to the rescue back in March. The responding officers referred to the conditions as deplorable. In an incident report, one officer claimed he became physically ill. While there, a gruesome discovery was made.
The individuals that called in the complaint that were actually residing at the establishment also at the time on Monday the 11th. I think they were having some power outages. The AC wasn't working properly. They noticed a smell in there. Upon further inspection, I think there were some things stacked on top of a freezer. They opened it up and located that.
Police claim approximately 87 dead dogs and cats were found in that freezer. In the days that followed, Geary was arrested and charged with 51 counts of animal cruelty and 51 counts of confining an animal without sufficient food. According to the documents, Geary ultimately agreed to sign the 51 living dogs on her property over to Tallahassee rescue owner Judy Dubois. But Dubois herself was arrested on animal cruelty charges. 90 dogs were taken off her property and sent to Tallahassee Animal Services. Lead investigator Scott Littlefield says he's worked in Quincy for more than 2 years, and this was a first for him.
I love animals. I've had dogs my whole life, and when you see some of the conditions that these animals are in at by not their choice, that certainly, I think, can be saddening and hurtful.
But this wasn't the first time Littlefield responded to the establishment. He says he personally responded back in November of 2023.
I observed cleanliness in there. The animals looked nutritioned and well fed with food and water. So that's the one experience that I have had. There has been talk about issues in the past, but those things I'm not familiar with.
It's important to note, though, the court documents indicate a former employee reportedly told police she was hired to deep clean the facility just before Thanksgiving last year. She reported that the business was filthy when she started. And months before investigator Littlefield's visit, WCTV reported on other former volunteers who were concerned with the conditions at Geary's rescue. Nearly a year later, volunteers continue to come forward.
My volunteering was just going in and taking dogs out for the day, and what we encountered when we were doing that was there wasn't a system on taking out those dogs.
Dino describes disorganization and disarray during her time at the rescue. She says there were times when she was left with the dog for the night. When she returned, no one was there and her calls went unanswered.
We tried to get in contact with as many people as possible to be like, hey, we don't have the proper facilities to be holding a dog for 24 hours.
Dino also says a dog was injured after being placed in a kennel with another dog that got aggressive.
Half of her ear was bitten off by a stray dog that one of the other owners let in. She was a feral dog that she let in the same crate as Lady during her stay for that 24 hours that she was back at Rest Your Paws.
Dino says her family found a permanent home for Lady where she's now happy and healthy. She says her experience has shifted her views on volunteering her time in the future.
I'm a little bit traumatized just from the experience that I had as well as just the conditions that it was under.
Joel says she and her sorority also reevaluated their volunteering, ultimately switching their focus to getting some of the animals adopted out. They cut ties with Rest Your Paws in late 2023.
We did what we could, but there's just no fixing like people who don't have the level of care and empathy for these animals.
We reached out to Geary and her business partner multiple times for comment on this story. Now, I did speak with Geary briefly by phone late Thursday. She would not comment, saying her attorney told her not to. Now, we reached out to her public defender and have not yet heard back. According to online records, Geary is due back in court on July 30th.